The Avengers are the OG team from the MCU, all incredibly powerful and wielding some incredibly powerful items. It's about time someone put them into D&D. So, for some of the original 6, I'll be focusing on their items, whereas for others, I'll be giving them a full stat block as they are themselves the weapon. First up is Captain America, and we will be focusing on his shield. His shield is a legendary magic item which requires attunement by a fighter or a paladin. It can be used normally as a +3 shield, giving +3 on top of the original +2 a shield gives, but can also be used as a ranged weapon. When used as a ranged weapon, you can use either strength or dexterity to make the attack, and when it hits, its ricochet ability comes into play. What this means is, after the first hit, you can target another creature, whether that be yourself or another hostile creature. If it's you, then you catch your shield and you carry on with your turn. If it's a hostile creature though, you can make an attack with a -2 penalty. You can ricochet as many times as you like during one attack, but that -2 penalty stacks for each time you hit. One throw of the shield counts as an attack, but if you are a class that can make multiple attacks in one turn, that means you can throw the shield multiple times in your turn, provided that you catch it at the end. Up next is Thor's hammer Mjolnir. This artifact requires attunement by a lawful good aligned creature with a wisdom score above 16. You may argue that any good aligned creature should be able to wield it, but I'd say that the first 4 film proved you couldn't really be chaotic. If you are not worthy to attune to this item, you cannot move this weapon at all. This weapon is versatile in that it is both ranged and melee. For both of these attack types, you can use either strength or wisdom as your attack stat. When using it as a ranged weapon though, you are able to multi-attack with it, hitting 2+ wisdom modified creatures in one attack action. At the end of that attack, Mjolnir returns to you. You can also use an action to call it back to you when it's not in your hand at any time. If you are standing near a creature, you can make a singular attack as it comes back to you. For both ranged and melee attacks, these attacks deal an extra 2d6 thunder damage on a hit. Finally, Mjolnir gives you the power of Thor, and as such you have 10 charges to use on the following spells: Lightning Bolt for 2, Call Lightning for 3, and Chain Lightning for 6. You regain 1d4 + 2 of these charges every day at dawn. Number 3 is Hawkeye and his bow and arrows. His quiver is a legendary magic item. All of the arrows contained within it are +3 arrows, but that's not the only thing that makes them special. His quiver comes with the trick arrowheads that you see in the TV series, so you can select any of the following trick arrows to fire from the quiver. Up first is the Pim Particle Arrow. Any creature or object hit by this arrow will grow larger or smaller for the next hour, as per the spell Enlarge Reduce. However, this does not require the shooter's concentration. Number 2 is the Sticky Arrow. This arrow attaches itself to whatever creature or surface it hits. It can only be removed with a DC 25 strength check. Number 3 is the Spider Arrow. When a creature is hit by this arrow, it must roll a DC 25 dexterity saving throw or be restrained by the net which explodes from this arrow. Number 4 is the Explosive Arrow. You can probably guess what's happening here, but on the point it hits, fireball, DC 25 to escape. Number 5 is the Putty Arrow. This arrow explodes in a circle radius 10 foot of opaque, sticky putty. Creatures cannot see through this putty, and the putty is treated as difficult terrain. Number 6, the Acid Arrow. Upon impact, this arrow will deal an extra 2d6 acid damage to whatever it hits. Number 7, the Scrying Arrow. The only one that isn't got a direct link to the TV show, but this arrow can set up a scrying sensor at the point that it hits. This sensor lasts for 10 minutes, or until the creature who shot the arrow uses an action to disable it. The final arrow, number 8, is the Smoke Bomb Arrow. When this arrow hits a point or a creature, it unleashes a fog cloud centered on that point. You can choose regular +3 arrows as well as these, but I would suggest DMs you be sparing with some of these because they can be quite powerful if you give them to the players in large quantities. Number 4 is Tony Stark's Iron Man suit of armour, specifically his Mark 7 armour from the first Avengers film. This item is in reality 2 items, as we'll start with the Arc Reactor, which is a legendary magic item that sole use is to power the Mark 7 suit. The second item, the suit itself, is again legendary, and when it's combined with the Arc Reactor, gives the wearer the following abilities. Firstly, the wearer gains a flying speed of 60 foot, an AC of 22, and their strength and dexterity scores increase to 20 and 18 respectively. Secondly, the wearer gets the ability to channel the arc reactor's energy into beams that they can direct at their enemies. These ranged attacks are plus 10 to hit and have a range of 60 foot. If they hit, they deal 3d6 force damage and force the creature hit to make a DC 18 saving throw or be pushed back 10 foot. Finally, this suit comes fully equipped with Jarvis, which gives the wearer advantage on all investigation and perception checks if they use a bonus action to ask. If the suit, God forbid, were to lose power while a creature is inside, then its speed drops to 0, it is restrained, and it must make a DC 25 strength check to try and break free from the suit. Now we are moving on to stat blocks, the first of which being Black Widow. A super spy / assassin who doesn't need any fancy weapons or gadgets to be deadly. To start with, she has the normal speed of 30 foot and can speak 6 languages of the DM's choice. Her stats are as follows, with high values across the board, with slightly low intelligence, but that's only because she excels everywhere else. Her proficiency is +4, and she has expertise in athletics, acrobatics, deception, intimidation, and persuasion, with insight and investigation as well on top. She also has the 3 abilities of the assassin stat block, those being Assassinate. She gets advantage on creatures who had not yet gone, and any hit on a surprised creature is a critical hit. She also gets Evasion, which means if she has to make a dexterity saving throw, then she either takes half damage or no damage at all, as opposed to the normal full damage or half. Finally, she gets Sneak Attack. If she gets advantage on any attack, or is attacking a creature that's within 5 foot of an ally, she can add 6d6 to the damage dealt if she should hit. This can, however, only be done once per turn. Now, for her attacks. She can attack unarmed with +9 to hit, and deal 1d8 +5 on a hit, plus any additions if relevant. She can also make ranged attacks though, by throwing daggers. These are +9 to hit as well, and deal 1d4 +5 damage, plus any relevant additions. She can make 4 attacks each turn as part of her attack action. Finally, she has 150 HP, which means she'll be keeping on fighting for quite a while. And now, the final member of the Avengers is Hulk. This stat block will be for the Hulk version of him, mind you, and not the Bruce Banner. Do let me know if you'd like to see a Banner at some point, or possibly Professor Hulk, but both of these will not be covered here. First off, his stats are as follows, with obscenely high strength and con as you might as well expect. His dex isn't bad either, but his mental stats, not great at all. Low intelligence, wisdom, and charisma all make sense, but it is worth mentioning that he gets to use his strength for intimidation. As well, it would be weird if he wasn't good at intimidation. His HP is also very high, hitting 1100, and his AC is pretty high at 21. His actions are very simple, as you would expect from Hulk. Firstly, he can choose to attack recklessly when he makes his first attack in a turn. This gives him advantage on all attacks, however, does give all enemies advantage on him. Next, he can rage with a bonus action, similar to a barbarian, giving him advantage on strength checks and saving throws, and resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. The only difference between the Hulk's rage and a barbarian's rage is that he can gain a +4 to damage on his unarmed attack rolls, as well as the melee weapon attacks that barbarians can get that bonus on. This rage will last for 1 minute, and he can rage as many times as he wants. Finally, he has his actual attack. Smash. +17 to hit, a range of 10 foot, and deals 2d8 +16 bludgeoning damage. He can do 4 of these attacks in 1 turn. So, there we have it, the Avengers in D&D. Let me know what you agree with, let me know what you disagree with, and let me know what else you'd like me to make.